Yo guys, what's up? How you doing? We're back, and this time with something new. This time we're bringing out the Lord of Virulence in the OG Deathguard color scheme. So as you can see, I've done some work to this guy off stream. This is going to be next week's Patreon video, and I wanted to get some work done on that today to make sure we had plenty of time to really do a deep dive on how to do this rusted, pitted, nasty looking armor. So we've kept it really clean to begin with, and then we'll definitely be making that dirty, nasty, covered in weathering. It's gonna be good. Thank you very much for the host: Crooked Grin, Lord Gitface, Abandoned Lost Arms, Snake Plissken, Viking, Dez, and Ginger Steve. Hosts are super important. Exclamation point host for exactly how to do that. Really helps me out. I promise you, it's as much of a help as somebody pressing the subscribe button. It really is. Right, let's get to it then. So, I reckon we're gonna start on the shoulder pads tonight. What I want to do is try and get as many little areas sort of finished off as we can, at least with base coats, so that when I go back to filming for this, we're all good. So, SJ, big cheer today. Big cheer today. Accuracy is good, 80%. Can't begrudge that, right? Nice work. Nice work. The big host for myself was because Des hosted, and I saw Viking with his 18-month subscription to give this man some hype. But I didn't see any alerts come up, and I wanted to test the alert box settings. It was on, the bot was working. We put through the test, and suddenly everything else came through. So who knows? Who knows what the deal was with that? MC, thank you, bro. What's up? So what's up is I'm in so much pain. Oh God, just pain. So yesterday I actually couldn't face forward. Yesterday I had such a bad crick in my neck. I was at that angle. I could do that, which is, considering that would be forward, probably about 30 degrees off center. Snuffy! Thank you very much, dude. Dropping out Twitch Prime sub. Oh! SJ, all that hard work, man. Fucking clovers everywhere. So yesterday I didn't go to see my girlfriend in the evening. I went to bed, where I got very little sleep. Now I have full movement in my neck. You know, we're all good. We can do all that lot. But it just hurts. So that's what's up. That's where we're at. I'm hoping that by tomorrow it'll be way in the background. My headache's a little bit more than usual as a result of it. And this is something that just happens every now and again. Fortunately, not often, but every now and again. So since 8 o'clock, we've been... Some Glenfarclas 105, which is a 60% cask strength scotch. And it's fucking lovely. And it's helping so much. Viking, so my car's like a fucking beast since it dropped the exhaust. That's rough, dude. That is rough. Ooh. That's not going to be a cheap thing. It's just not going to be a cheap thing. Crownblade, what up, dude? Who has two thumbs and got a call today to say smashed interview and got offered a job? This guy. That's what Jaeger's doing right now. Congratulations, bro. So happy for you. When did you start? It sounds so mean now. Brilliant. Did you do it on purpose? Okay, so we've got the bone down. And I'm not going to give anyone the recipe for that. That one's going to be a secret until next Friday, when it'll be all over Patreon. But for the green, we're starting off with Castellan green, I think. Yeah, this is a Games Workshop paint I haven't used in God knows how long. But back when I had my Sons of Medusa, this was what I used as a base coat for all their shoulder pads. And then I'd work this up into an almost lime green with Flash Kits yellow. A little bit of Necrotide going in there to start helping it along the way to begin with. But the reason we're using it now is not because we're going to use that at all. We're almost definitely not going to use any yellow on this. We want the shoulder pads to be super desaturated. Remember, we're going for that OG Deathguard look. So, we're not looking for bright and colourful. And that's why we've done so bright with the bone armour there. Currently. We're looking for kind of utilitarian, drab, all those things. Let's get this locked in. Both shoulders. Going to take a couple of coats just to get through that. Almost best day, absolutely. Going to put this on Monday, starting the 4th of May. Please tell me, and I'm not a big fan of this, but please tell me that your new job is like Jedi instructor or something. But I'm so happy for you, bro. That last month, don't take any shit. Remember, they can still fire you, so don't be a dickhead, but just like, bam. What's the YouTube video tomorrow? Well, it's a good one. It's a good one. I don't know if I've shown you guys this yet. Shit, I haven't. Oh, Jason Hellwalker. Now that is a fucking awesome name for a start. Thank you for the follow. Sith training. I think that's more up his alley. So, tomorrow's video is back to the Custodes. And, This took a while to edit. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. So, I'm tempted. I don't have the time to do it, but I'm tempted to try and find the time to start creating blooper reels at the end of my videos, because I think I got about 5 hours sleep, maybe, last night, and it was restless. You know, lots of like sitting around trying to get comfortable with my head. So my brain was not fully engaged today when editing the video. And on editing day, that's the day I also do all the facing into the camera stuff. So the blooper reel for this would be absolutely catastrophic. However, the video itself, I think, is one of the better ones we've done. There's a lot of funny stuff in it towards the start to try and break up the 2 minutes of footage I needed to record. 2 minutes. That's all I needed was 2 minutes. That's what she said. To record 2 minutes of footage took me an hour. But the video does show you how to do this. So, you know, I mean, I'd say it's worth it. I fucking love this blue effect on gold. It's just like absolutely on point. I love the way it comes out. So that's what tomorrow's video is. It's all about intermediate OSL. Remember, for the OSL that we had on here on the base, which is also shot for YouTube, it's a much more simple, easy version of OSL. This is a little bit more advanced. We're working with two different surfaces. We're working with shiny surfaces. And we've got a load of other areas to consider. So definitely a good one for anyone that wants to improve their object source lighting. Should I get it right the first time then, or just work faster? I wish I'd got it right the first time. Jay, messing up is a great part of the paint lesson. He then tells you how not to fuck it like he did. As soon as he says anything, your hand goes fully rogue and does worse than he did. I mean, that is true. Like, by the way, don't do this. Next thing you know, Steve's taking a broom dipped in black paint to his mini. Janelle saying, got any sessions with paint where the pigment is separating from the medium and refuses to mix back in? Yes. You could spend a fortune on like one of those paint mixers, or probably just hear that clacking about. Just chuck a ball bearing in there. Like I bought a bag of something like 800 steel ball bearings for airsofting, and I just chuck one of those into every paint I'm about to mix the flow improver and thinner in to transfer from a pot to a bottle, and it absolutely sorted that out. Wow, okay. Have you tried throwing it away and buying a new one? It's not similar to that. It's like BB guns, but they're made of steel. I don't know if people like, what? None of you guys play airsoft with metal? God, bunch of fairies, everyone here. Janelle, I think probably the absolute best thing to do would probably be to maybe. No, that wouldn't work. It would just cure it. Like if you tried just jamming a stick in there and like giving it a good stir. Yeah. I've actually never been airsofting. I've been paintballing once for a mate stag do. And that was fun. It hurt, but you know, a lot less than most other shit I've done in my life. But I shoot. Like, they're BBs. They were sold by a store that sells a lot of airsofting equipment. So I assume that they're for BB guns, which you use in, you know. Do you have some hydration on board? I do. I've got water and I've got very, very strong whiskey. Only one of those is really hydration. The other one is there as a painkiller right now. As for films, everything, some folks take it way too serious. I watched some videos one time when I was ill. Because I was laid in bed and I couldn't do anything, and YouTube just like randomly suggested airsoft dude like catches cheaters out or something, and it's some guy with like a fucking GoPro on doing airsoft, and it looks like a lot of fun. It really does look like a lot of fun. However, it looks like it may be more expensive than 40k, and no. No. I don't need another hobby like that. Fuck no. You always get a John Wick at airsoft. He's a being of sheer will. I may very well have said apple juice entirely incorrectly. But right now that's medicine, so it's medicinal and therefore I believe is okay. And trust me, when it's this strength, it's actually medicinal. You could use this to sterilize entire people. Entire villages in third world countries could have a few drops of this scattered into their water source and it would sterilize it. So, take care, man. Enjoy your work. Initial setup is expensive for 40k. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like, the one thing that I would definitely want would be a good, like, head/face shield. Rutang! Hey, how you doing, brother? 15 months. What a unit. What a unit. Thank you very much, my friend. Let's get some love in the stream for this quality individual. What are you working on at the moment? You must have finished Bobby G by now, right? I'm pretty sure I saw your finished pictures of that. If not, I've entirely invented that in my head, and I'm very sorry. But how the Ultramarines going? I've managed to convert one Ultramarines player away from the blue. And teaching them how to paint white scars. The fact that was their suggestion is nothing. Yeah. It's all my work. One at a time, taking down the Scions of Guilliman. Working on Space Wolves next. Ah, sweet, dude. I've got the Space Wolves Codex supplement sat just on the breakfast bar there. Buddy wants a hand right in a Space Wolf list. And if I'm honest, I'm thinking right now it's a case of basically take exactly the same things that I take in any regular Marine army. Cheers, Gumbelina. How strong guy! Thank you for that host. Yeah, I'd basically take exactly the same things I take in any Marine army. Chaplain on bike. You can't take an apothecary, which is weird. Doggos can't have doctors. I'm guessing it's to avoid the inevitable vet jokes. Or maybe that's just it. Maybe it's like every time a Space Wolves apothecary comes up, they're like, well, you know, this one's going to have to go and live on a farm. Maybe that's why they don't have apothecaries. That was dark. Oh dear. It's going to be that kind of stream tonight, guys. So, yeah, I'd probably take Chaplain on bike, like I said, about 3 times now. Some Eradicators, some Blade Guards, some Impulsors, a couple of characters, including the Chapter Master. And that would be it, really. Just keep repeating that formula until... Oh, and some Plasma Receptors. Quite steam from Mikey's Bait, J-Clips. Did you see the Angels of Death trailer, and what were your thoughts? No, I haven't. Is this... I've not even looked at anything Warhammer related today other than my own editing work. Is this on Warhammer Community? It is on Warhammer Community. Should we do a react to it? I reckon we should. I think we should. Let's do it. Let's hit the play button on this. And then... Is there a pop-out player? Full screen. Don't really want to full screen it. Oh, it's not even hosted anywhere. That's so annoying. Okay. Here's what we're doing. Yes, again. Where is a farm in 40k? That's a good point, and it's very well made. I reckon what it is, it's like, oh, this one's going to have to go and live on an agri world. Yeah. Right, let's check it. Go a little bit. That's too big. That's just big enough. Right, that's it. Just pause that. Why have you come?
It is time, my brothers and sisters.
Ooh.
Pray, walk the place of our birth.
Nice. The false angels must fall. I like it. I like it. That is cool. That is quite cool. This isn't the one that I'm really looking forward to. I'm really not like buzzing my tits off over this. The one with all the assassins, I quite like the look of, and as a Sister of Battle one, I think which I quite like the look of. This one, the art style, it looks a little bit like they've gone, Frank Miller did this really, really well. Let's have a go. Yeah. Rival Sarah, 12 months. You get a new badge. This time you've earned your stripes. You get the hazards. Happy days. Yeah, for me, it's kind of a, like, we wish we were Sin City. And it's not my favourite thing. Like I said, is it cool? Fuck yes. But this isn't the one that I'm, like, really getting the fizz for. However, that being said, that was extremely well done. There's some super, super good textures there. Everything is very, very well rendered. Sound effects are on point. Although, Steve says to see it strike 2 because he had to listen to every damn stream. I mean, there has a stripes, so one of you can have the black stripes, one of you can have the yellow stripes. You have to share your stripes. That's as far as I'm willing to go on that one. Tell Steve he can sub as well. And then he can earn his stripes. But until then, he gets like 1/2. Yeah, I really like it. Why did you come? Getting kind of flashbacks to something along the lines of Inspector Gadget villain, like is it Doctor Doom, Professor Doom, whatever it was. The Claw with the... Right, well, Sarah, thank you for the host. Right, let's work up this Castellan Green with some bog mosses. Staying desaturated, but there's a little bit more life in this, as you can see. I'm just going to start glazing this up, working on a little bit of a blend. Nothing crazy. So, kind of a relaxed bit of painting tonight, I reckon. That was cool, though. That was cool. The trailer is giving me a little bit more want to watch it. So the trailer has done its job very, very well. Yeah. Go trailer. Off to look. No worries. Hopefully a week on Tuesday with your first stream. Nice, dude. You're not going to go head-to-head with the Mohawk, are you? And stream at the same time, because... I would be cool. But seriously though, mate, I wish you the best of luck. Everyone, do make sure you're following Snake already, just so we can get a good inaugural stream viewership, you know? Nice, dude. Have you got something picked out ready for your first stream yet? Like, here's what I'm going to paint. I know you said, I think you said you'd be working with your knights, but I can't remember. Ramius coming in with a pie of 20. Absolute bad lad. Thank you very, very much. I'm not sure I follow you, so if we can get a shout out, I will give you a follow straight off the bat. Tanks, let's tank Repulsor, Impulsor, Crusader, Gladiator, Reaper, and 2 ATVs. Nice, dude. Just a quick one with that. Not quite Des. Cool, it did work. When you buy the Impulsor, don't buy the Impulsor, buy the Gladiator, and you can just swap everything out. You're good to go. Oh god, the Necronothon. So, I do follow you. Excellent, excellent. How is your stream, dude? We did finish those off. So what happened in that stream was we worked for about I think it was 39 hours over the course of that weekend, and I was... Oh, mate, I was so done by then. There was nothing left in the tank. It was just one of those weekends where I gave it everything, and we just didn't get through to the finish line. Which is a shame. Quite a shame. But it is what it is. I did finish them, though. A month later, we did another weekend stream where we tried to get all the edge highlighting done. That was basically all it needed doing was the edge highlighting, some tufts on the bases, and the base rims done. That was it. And we got it done. We got all of it done. It took 28 hours of more stream time to get those highlights done. So I had no chance whatsoever of doing all that in a weekend. Absolutely none. We were completely shit out of luck on it. It was just a crazy, crazy challenge. Stream was great. Finished a project for a client. Also, got myself an appointment for a COVID shot tomorrow morning. Nice. Nice. I'm like 38, and in apart from like gargantuan amounts of injuries, I'm in like reasonable health, which means I don't have any underlying health concerns that the NHS would consider to give me an early shot of COVID. So I've got very little chance of getting that until way past the end of summer. So if there is any kind of like vaccination passport plan that they're talking about, and you need that to be able to go on holiday, or you need that to go to an event, I'm just shit out of luck. I got no dog in that fight whatsoever. So hopefully we can get it soon. But just add 25 BMI to this thing to qualify you. Take one of that, but eat like 3 burgers for dinner or something. Okay. I wouldn't even know. I think I'd probably need to eat more than 3 burgers, but it might not be that many more. Fair G's though, man. Glad you got it. But my other half works as a teacher, essentially, for people with various developmental issues, whether it's been physical or mental disabilities. Basie! How you doing, bro? Yeah, if any of you were really ill, I mean, that's not what I'm saying. It's more that they won't take anything that I've already got as reasons for why I should get the jab. I mean, I could probably argue brain damage equals learning disability, but that seems like a long fight that I'm probably still not going to win. So we'll just, you know. It's ambiguous bullshit rating. 9% of the US is where with that number. I said the boat is going to have to be a while from. Yeah, exactly. Hey, no worries, bro. You have a good one. Thank you very much for the raid, and let's everybody give Ramius a follow. Follows are free, folks. Alright, just going to keep glazing this up. Building that opacity a little bit. I want to keep it nice and smooth. All the airbrush work, obviously, is super smooth. We want to do the same here. Just want to make sure that we don't have anything that's like super stark and very jarring in comparison to the armor plates. So this might be another 20 minutes or so of just glazing shoulder pads. But this is how you paint nice transitions when you don't have an airbrush or when you don't want to use an airbrush. So yeah, it's a good stream for anyone in that boat, I guess. Key things to remember: keep your paint of that glaze consistency. So it should be not quite dirty paint water. It should be a little bit more paint to it than that. Don't overload your brush. The number one problem with people that start to glaze things is that they put way too much paint on their brush. You end up with this great big lake of stuff on the miniature. And that's not going to do you any favours whatsoever. Basically, it's going to get watermarks and tide marks all over, and it's going to look pretty pants, to be honest. Next tip, always work from the point of least impact to the point of most impact. So on these, we want the highlight towards the top. So we're drawing our brush from wherever we want this path to start. So let's say here, for instance, up towards the top. And the reason you do that is because when you release your brush from the miniature and you lift it up off there, apart from the little bubble that formed just then, you're going to leave a little extra deposit of paint in that area. It's going to be tiny, but if you do like 100 brush strokes, it's going to start building up and building up. Which means if you go the other way, you'll end up with these like weird steps to your gradient, and that's really not what you want. Cheers, Rutang. This is going to be next week's Patreon video, how to paint bone armor, and we're going to go way past this. We're going to go right into like weathering it and getting some grime on it, but still keeping it a very, very bright bone. That's where a lot of the brightness for this miniature is going to come in. Came across the channel by accident, loving it. Awesome, dude. Glad you found us. And just browsing minifigures, or what? What was the... How did you end up here? And this, guys, is why hosts are amazing, because then we get cool people like Jet6R6 come in, who may not have found us otherwise. So exclamation point host. Give us a host. Doesn't matter if you're a streamer, doesn't matter if you've got like 100 followers or no followers or 100,000 followers, although that would be really helpful, by the way. Just throwing that out there. It really, really does help the channel out. It helps Twitch let them know, sorry, it helps Twitch know that they should also help promote the channel, because we're doing some cool shit. So you can see we're starting to get that gradient going from darker green here to lighter green here. Then mixing a little bit more bog moss into our current mix. And always work progressively like that. Never just like start a brand new color. I don't care what the people on the Games Workshop videos teach you how to do. I couldn't give the slightest fuck about how they teach you to paint, because they teach you to buy their products is what they teach you. They don't teach you to paint. Some of it is useful. Some of it's very useful. But the vast majority of it is questionable practices. Good outcome, but questionable practices. Stu! Thank you for that host, bro. I think... Let me double check my emails. 1 second, bro. I think I saw a message from Twitch earlier on. Not in that folder. I might have archived it. 1 sec. But I think I got the message saying that your shirt has been shipped. Shit, did I delete it? Export to YouTube. Follow. Fuck, I can't see it now. Oh, I know why. Wrong email. No, processing. Sorry, not shit. Processing. Sorry. I've been here early, but the kids were playing for bedtime. Knock them out with mace. Gumbly, that's a little bit of a... I mean, it's a solution, but that's like edging towards final solution. That's not good. However, I can show you some sleeper holds that probably won't need. I mean, apparently, my mum used to slip rum into my evening milk and stuff. And I turned out fine, right? Just talk to him about taxes. Brilliant. Could be spray or medieval mace. I mean, I was going for either one being a little bit too harsh. So what's everybody else painting tonight? Who's got what on their hobby desk? Jaffa cakes are probably a good first step. You don't want to bring out the big guns straight away. I mean, at that point, surely, like, go to bed, I'll give you Jaffa cakes. Deal. An hour later, all the sugar in the world is hit. Like, and they're fiends. So here we're doing some highlights kind of up to each of these little like cracks in the shoulder pad. Starting to break down this area into larger sections. Sorry, trying to break down this larger area into smaller sections. Even as I was saying that, I knew there was something that wasn't right about what was about to come out of my mouth. I get that feeling a lot, by the way. That's going to give us a nice, interesting texture on our shoulder pad by the time we built that up a little bit. 3,000 tons Drent. Oh my god, I need more than brandy in my milk to deal with that. It's the week after Easter, that much more sugar is going to be the slightest difference. Fair. Fair. Maybe you just give them all the sugar till they're actually bouncing off the walls. At which point, someone's going to be asleep, you know? Paint an old fine cast homunculus, turn it over to dead as well, so you need to get a new one so you can do the finer details. There are no fine details on a fine cast homunculus. What you've got there is just a pitted pattern from the absolute dog shit process that fine cast is. And those aren't details that you're about to paint. Wasn't Urian the fine cast one? Such a horrible, horrible mini. Senses Taker, thank you for the follow. Continue breaking out streaking grind for assault necessors, nice. Big Brom, Mortarian, yes. Master Lazarus on Dark Lord of Caliban. Magnetizing him. Can't remember what he comes with normally. Is it a plasma pistol and a power sword? Something like that, at least, I guess. I mean, it is Dark Angels, so that's kind of comfortable territory for them to be in. What else we got? Shot fired. I mean, you know, I didn't have my motivations coming back. Trying to paint details with effectively a chisel isn't doing much to help. No, it really won't do, mate. I know you'll get your painting mojo back. Don't force it. You know, but on the days where I can't paint, and it happens, you know, everyone gets burnout. It doesn't matter what it is. You know, for me, obviously, it's my job, so I've got to find ways to push through that and just get on with it. But I tend to try and do maybe a little bit of stream admin. If I'm really not feeling it, and if I'm in a bit of a funk, then I just play a video game for 20 minutes to an hour. Which is about the only time I ever play video games is when, for whatever reason, I'm in like I can't paint today kind of mood. It happens very, very rarely. But it still happens. Not forcing it, using it to help de-stress from work, and use base coating and washing. Fair. Helm and sword, what's some of this change about? Nice. I remember the because he was like your Primaris Lieutenant Special Edition version, yeah? remember both him and the Blood Angels one being okay minis, but nothing like special, which I think really worked because it kind of fits that midfield role. They're not a captain, so they shouldn't have the most ornate armor in the world. They're still very much frontline fighting force. So yeah, I always liked that. I thought it was a nice design philosophy for him. So, getting much brighter than we were, but obviously still a ways to go. Might end up with just the tiniest amount of yellow on our edge highlights going into this. Which means that I've got the freedom of using pure bog moss when we want to on this for the gradient. Toonie Spruce! How you doing, bro? Thank you very, very much for that, host. How are you today? Oh, sorry. Alright, add in more of that bog moss. And we're probably nearly at the point of using just bog moss now. So we'll see how bright this gets in a sec, and if it's not quite bright enough, maybe we'll add a tiny drop of yellow into this. But again, Deathguard, so drab, kind of muted. That's what we're going for. Very desaturated. Foxar! How you doing? Viking. Sleep well, bro. So first sleep after work and family eat all the Dominoes without waking me. Oh my god. Too Many Sprues is literally Macaulay Culkin in a Home Alone. Did they not save you any? Clearly been working hard, got home, fell asleep. Damn, son. Damn. There's only one thing to do. And it's savage, but I feel this is appropriate revenge. And that is to go and take a gigantic poop on one of their pillows. At random. Let them know your wrath can strike at any time. And somebody will feel it. Well, at least you can try shaving for the first time now. Awesome. Does he sleep under the stairs too? Domino's isn't overrated. Domino's is shite. Domino's is good for when it's 3 in the morning and for whatever reason you're still up. Maybe you've been working really, really late. You're like, I just need food. I just need sustenance. Fine. Domino's it is. But it is not good food. That being said, Domino's on the continent is much better. I've had Domino's in Gibraltar a few times, and that's really good in comparison. I don't know what it is. They've obviously changed something in the dough. Toppings are fresher, I guess, perhaps. Who knows? They've got a different menu. They've got a completely different menu with loads of extra things there that we don't get here, like a lot of barbecue options. Crazy. Love that, Cusky. I'm glad, bro. Me too. The first minis I ever painted when I got back into the hobby were Space Marine Tactical Marines, because Primaris didn't exist at all at that point. In fact, at that point, the designers would have probably finished with them. And it's possible, very possible, that the painting team may have had them, but they wouldn't have been anywhere else. Not as finished as miniatures, not as finished models. You know, they would have been in the upcoming rules and all that sort of stuff. They would all get written way, way, way in advance. But yeah, Primaris weren't even a thing when I got back into the hobby. Just painted Tactical Marines like this. Loved it. And beans on toast. Right, there you go. Beans on toast is good fuel for taking that revenge poop. Yeah. Cheese and brown sauce in it. So I occasionally I make this thing called cowboy beans, and it's literally just baked beans, maybe some bacon, some onions, just cooked up in a pan beforehand, some barbecue sauce on toast with cheese. Mwah! Or on rice and with cheese still. That's so good. You have it on rice, it's high fiber. You know, it's not a bad thing for you. You could maybe substitute some bacon for some chorizo. You know, anything like that. It's a fucking super cheap meal to make. It's tasty AF. Blame my brothers, they're savage when it comes to takeaways. Fair. The thing is, Des, is that we've got Domino's here, and I don't think it's terrible, but it is a little sort of greasy, a little bit kind of mass market produced food, which is what Domino's is for definite. And then we've got Fat Tony's, which produces food that is so much better than anything that you'd get, even at a sit-down restaurant, for pizza as a takeaway. And so whatever else is on the menu, like anywhere else, it's just like, nah. Okay, Leech. Why do you think my barbecue sauce doesn't have bourbon in it? The sauce shop cherry bourbon barbecue sauce is life. Is Fat Tony's local one to you? Yeah, there's one in Cheltenham, one in Gloucester, one in Siren, and one in Stroud. And Stroud was the OG one. That was where it all started. And it is just the best pizza. It's made with a sourdough culture that is way over 100 years old. I think it's like 125 years old. And it's got such amazing flavour. So just the bread that the pizza goes on is good. And then because Jason, the guy that owns the business, used to be head chef of a very posh hotel, not a trillion miles away from where I live, he understands about using like really, really good ingredients and really fresh ingredients. And so everything they put out is just absolutely banging. I've never had Papa John's. Never had Papa John's. There is one in Cheltenham. And part of me, like, there's like a curiosity. Like, let's give it a shot because I want to see what this pizza tastes like. But it's not Fat Tony's, and there's a Fat Tony's in Cheltenham. So if I was going to have pizza, I'd still just have Fat Tony's. Fat Tony's even sounds better. Exactly. I mean, really, it's Fat Jason's. But, you know. Right. I think the shoulder pads are looking pretty good. We're getting up to a nice green that's not like super vibrant. It's got a lot more pop to it than the bone armor at the moment. Certainly leaves me plenty of room to go up with a little bit of yellow for some of our edge highlights for it as well. Now, let's work on some of the areas of this that are going to be black. So we've got the top of this gun to do, this little fuel tank, that fuel tank. A load of these pipes are going to be black, or at least like a dark color. A lot of these, I think the big pipes down the middle would do like a bronze or a copper. Anything that's metallic up here, I think that would be the way to go. SJ, thank you, bro. Spook Skeleton says, I went to go to bat for Little Caesars. That pizza gets kids through poverty. Fair. How chance to live a pizza for me in 12 minutes? How's that even possible? I'm guessing it was because, like, they misfired an order. It was like, say you ordered pepperoni pizza, and so you wanted pepperoni without whatever, or with extra something else. And they didn't do that one, they did yours. And like, well, this guy fucking wants it. Quick, get it out. So, I had McDonald's breakfast on Tuesday. The bacon roll had cheese and egg in it. So I can't do Mickey D's breakfasts at all. I just can't. The thought of it is enough to be like, nope. When I was much younger and was drinking, McDonald's breakfast would be what I do to cure hangovers. And unlike anybody else, I think, I would go to McDonald's, I'd order a breakfast, I'd put it on the table in front of me, unwrap it from the things, and I'd sit there looking at it and be like, right, either the hangover fucks off or that goes in. And it would work. Like, I'd rather sit there and just get the hangover out of my system than eat that shit. That being said, a good go-to tournament breakfast is 2 hash browns and a cup of coffee. That sets you up. Petters, how you doing, bro? He has a very sensitive digestive system. It is kind of sensitive, you know. We don't always have double rainbow, but you know. Right. Let's get in here. We need to be very careful around the armor plates, obviously. Don't want to get any of that with black on it. Damien, how are you doing, dude? What have you been working on today? Doing a harvest breakfast. What's a harvest breakfast? Eat McDonald's breakfast or remove the hangover with sheer force of will. Yes. Yes, definitely. Just get rid of the hangover. The thought of eat... Oh, God. I don't eat Mickey D's. Or Burger King, or anything like that, in fact. I think the last time I had a burger was me and a buddy went to McDonald's before watching something like WrestleMania 18. You know, we sat there, we smashed a load of cheeseburgers and fries, because that's what Chris wanted to eat for dinner. He loved McDonald's, though. He'd fucking live off it if he could. And then went and watched the wrestling. I think that was the last time I ate a McDonald's burger. No, it wasn't. It wasn't the last time I ate a McDonald's burger. The last time I ate a McDonald's burger was after I had swine flu. Been working on porn. Like it. Good. So I ended up catching swine flu, which is extremely horrible. God, it fucking just took me out. I was working in a greengrocer, so I was outside all day. We had a swine flu epidemic. So not a pandemic like we've got now, but just, you know, plenty of pig flu. And so because I worked at the greengrocers, everyone and their fucking dog was coming in going, right, well, if I have fresh fruit and vegetables, I'll become immune to this. Doesn't work like that, dude. But that was clearly what they all thought would happen. So we had half a fucking Cirencester walk through the doors, I swear to you. That's what it felt like. And so, of course, I got sick. So I went to work one day, and I'm like, I just feel shit. I got about halfway through the day, and I just fell over. They catch it from the Mackie D's? No, because there's no fucking pig, even in their bacon, I imagine, mate. A gateway go-to breakfast was always spoons, eggs, mate. So spoons I'm okay with. It's still shit, but, you know, I'm okay with it. Breakfast wrap, for definite. That's because breakfast wrap and unlimited coffee is about £4, though, so... Am I sure? I wouldn't want to bet on it, put it that way. So, I ended up, like, falling over at some point in the day. I just couldn't get up. I had nothing in the tank to get up, so I ended up being, like, going home. And the following day, I couldn't get out of bed. Just could not get out of bed. That night, I remember waking up in the middle of the night, easily sort of 2 in the morning, something along those sorts of lines. And the bed was soaking wet around me, and I thought, oh, I've pissed myself. I must have done. God, and everything I touch is wet, and I need to do something. And I'm fucking delirious. I know I need to sort something out. I just couldn't. I ended up going back to sleep, just spark out. I woke up, what was probably 3 or 4 hours later, and the bed was bone dry. Basically, what had happened, ended up face plant. Oh shit! Get face. That's pretty horrible. Unlucky. But I'd essentially sweated out this fever and was so hot that I'd evaporated all of that out of the bed. Just rank. Just rank. And after that, I woke up not the following morning, it was still terrible, but the morning after that, I was like, I need food. I need to replenish some calories right fucking now. So I went to McDonald's. I bought, I think it was called the Big Tasty. It was some like weird burger that they had that was like limited time only. Like, sure, we'll go for that, and some cheese, like dippers or whatever they call them. A McFlurry, a milkshake, large fries, you know. All that shit. Got home, smashed the lot. None of it tasted good. The milkshake, actually, I do like McDonald's milkshakes. I've got to say that's always a solid one for me. Like, I always get a little bit of like everyone's going to Mickey D's. Maybe I should have a milkshake. But I looked it up. It was about 4,000 calories. For that, that's 2 days. 2 days worth of food. How do people eat that shit? You know, mate, I didn't like any of it. What goal do you suggest to go with White Scar's 30k minis? I always, for good guys kind of people, always recommend Dwarven Gold from Scale 75. I love it. I think that's absolutely one of the best golds. Especially for someone that's, like I said, good guy gold. That. Wash it purple. Wash it with a flesh wash. Highlight it back with the same gold. Then add silver and highlight it again. Done. fucking great gold. Don't highlight it with just bare silver. It will look crap. And do double wash it. Don't mix them together and then give it a go. That doesn't work. You need to have those layers of wash on there, changing the hue. In fact, here's what that gold looks like. Not bad, eh? Two of each wash. No, use a purple wash and then a flesh wash. So one full wash of each. Love cream colour, very general grievous. Nice. And cheers, Sense Taker. This is going to be next week's Patreon video. So this week's YouTube video, which is out tomorrow, is all about how to do an intermediate level OSL. And I fucking love this blue. Oh god, it's such a nice blue, but that is what we're teaching you in this week's Patreon video. Exactly how to do this, the theory behind it, using it, the technique on two different surfaces, one that's metallic, one that is at least like enameled or similar. But that's what we're teaching you on this week's YouTube vid. And I've made the start of the video, I think, relatively funny. Certainly we're trying to add a bit more personality to it. So let me know what you think. Give it a watch. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. that goes live. Let's get these pipes tucked in. So I'll do these black because the other option is doing like a really, really dark red. And I don't want to take away from the miniature very much. So we're going to go with a kind of cool blue-black for it. Keep it looking just a little bit sinister. And that is going to give us a little bit more pop to our white armor, our bone armor. And that for me is the main focus of the miniature, is that suit of armor. We've got still a fair bit to go for it. It's had no brushed highlights at all yet. Still needs plenty of that. The Primarchs are taking a woman out on a date. Where do they take them? Oh my god. That's a pretty genius question. I like pie. How you doing? Okay, let's go through. Let's do heretics first, not loyalists. We normally start off with loyalists. Let's do the bad guys first. Comrade Kurz takes them to. There's a museum in Amsterdam. It's not. This is not what you think. Or is it Prague? No, it's Amsterdam. There's a museum in Amsterdam. Brilliant. Fulgrim takes them up the arse. No. Fulgrim lets them take him up the arse. There's this museum in Amsterdam that when I was looking at things to do before I went out there for the Dutch GT, because I knew I was going out on my own, I wanted to find some funny or interesting things to go and do. And I'm not really interested in the whole weed and prostitutes thing. I couldn't give a fuck about either one of those two things, in fact. So I was looking up different museums and historical or cultural things. There is a museum in Amsterdam that has exhibitions that are made of dead people, like preserved people. And they've been skinned. So you see like muscle and viscera and stuff like that. That's just like, no. They got that in London as well. Shit. Van Heet, could be. Body, I don't know. I can't remember the name. I remember looking at the thing, reading the name, going, all right, cool, what's this museum? Looking down, it's like full of dead people. Like, you know what? No, I don't need to do that. That's where Kurz takes them. Body Primarchs. Perturabo. I think Perturabo probably takes them to like a museum of engineering or technology, you know, something like that. So we've got a museum in Bristol, which is like the science museum. So I have loads of like cool exhibitions and things like that going on that are interactive, so you can play with them. There's always something interesting there. The last time I went, I was at school, like primary school. But I remember going there, and there's loads of like visual displays with buttons to press and, you know, things to do. So I think definitely it is a body world made by going fair. Thank you very much, Lynchburg, for that. But yeah, not interested in going there. That's definitely Kurz's idea for a hot night, and then would take them to watch like a scary movie. So it'd be like People Museum followed up by The Hills Have Eyes or something like that. Perturabo, some sort of science museum. And then a walk around like what he'd portray as the romantic parts of a city. So you go down to, I don't know, Paris. It's like, oh, the Arc de Triomphe's all lit up at night, and you wander around and it's pretty, apart from the fucking roundabout that it sits on, and all that sort of stuff. And his date's like, oh, this is lovely, and he's thinking like, I love the architecture there. So good. You know, that would be Perturabo. Other Nasty Boy Primarchs. Fulgrim. So obviously, like, we've got the funny answers in the chat, but real talk, I think Fulgrim goes to a rave, like takes them to a proper 90s rave. So there's fucking glow sticks everywhere. There's people wearing glow sticks. UV paint all over the place. Big E everywhere. That's used with a different reference now. Master84, cheers for the follow. Snake, take care, man. Loads of alcohol, and it'd be like super like aggressive bands. So maybe not even rave music, but, well, maybe rave music, but with the stage show of like Rammstein. So loads of flames and pyrotechnics, but with, you know, all of the other as well. Angron. I think Angron goes for like a picnic. Just literally, you know, makes everything himself. So makes his own bread for the sandwiches, makes his own pickles, you know, lock, stock, the lot. But because he's Angron, he'll get his date to the picnic, and they'll be there like in a nice meadow under a tree, you know, bright sunny day. He's got this little blanket out. Everything's good. And then there'll be some ants that just sort of rock up to be like, oh, sweet, you've got a picnic. Let me get involved in this. And he flips his shit. That's it. Everything, bam. Starts throwing stuff, starts swearing, chops down a tree that the ants have got a nest nearby with his bare hands. His date is clearly traumatized by this. So Angron, I think, has a chilled out date, or at least tries to have a chilled out date, but is betrayed by his angry nature, and thus the tragic story of Angron continues. Who's next? Mortarion. You need to win this thing. Too late. Too late. This is gone. We paint after it's been given away, so that the winner has a chance. This is never too many socks, Mini. And again, I think I haven't heard from Mr. Enigma. Right. Angron, don't take shit from ants. Exactly. You get it, Wolf. Cause an argument because you're supposed to cream on the scone first. Why would that cause an argument? That's the correct way of doing it. Well, what are you trying to imply, Stu? Let me just be calm as a third wheel. No. Stu, don't make me angry. Let's not go there, Stu. To bring your wrongness to my stream. It's definitely cream first, mate. Because you put the cream on, so it builds a nice little nest for you to get extra jam. God. Heathen. Heathen. Lord Grishnak. Cheers for the follow and welcome to the stream. Other baddie promises. So we're on Mortarion. Where would Mortarion go for a date? I don't think Mortarion would go on a date. I think Mortarion's the kind of guy... No. No. I know exactly where Mortarion would take his date. I'm glad you've got that opinion, Stu. You know, because it's good that you feel that way. Big Brom, I think you're incorrect as well. You're both wrong. You're both wrong. Always cream first. So Mortarion would take his date to some like in-game area in World of Warcraft. That's what he'd do. That's the kind of person I think Mortarion is. He'd sit in and play WoW with his date, and that's what he would do. He'd take them like fucking fishing in WoW or something. That would be his idea of a date. And then right at the end of the date, he'd like slash kiss and log out quick because he'd be like, I'm a bit nervous now. Picnic in the Mage Quarter Storm. For fuck's sake. But that's Morty. That's what he'd do. Lorgar. So Lorgar would just have like a normal everyday date. You know, it'd be like a nice fancy restaurant, possibly something like Pan-Asian cuisine. You know, something a little bit like, ooh, this guy understands food, and you know, is a man of culture. And everything would be going great on the date. They'd finish up the meal, go for a nice walk, go back to her. She'd invite him in for coffee. Lorgar would go in, like, yes, I'll have coffee. She'd get him through the door. She'd turn around, she'd start kissing him. He'd be like, whoa. No, I am saving myself. I am a man of God. And that would be the end of the date. You know, like properly breaks on. Or just 100-0 in the fastest time frame ever. That would be Lorgar. Silly question, but where would I find Dwarven Gold Scale 75 paint? Look, I can't see it yet. Where are you based? Because I can't really answer that question without knowing where you are. If you're based in the UK, exclamation point Element, they've almost always got it in stock, and you can support the channel by using that affiliate link. Other baddie Primarchs, we can't have done them all. We've done the main four. Angron, Fulgrim, Morty, Magnus. Ooh. When Magnus go on a date? Magnus. I've got the perfect answer. I've got the perfect answer. Danny, are you in the chat? Don't let me down, bro. Don't let me down. Oh, fuck. Is he here? I'll bet he's not here. No, he's not here. Fuck. Magnus would take his date to the virtual magic show being hosted tomorrow night by I'll Print You One's dad. That's where they go. And she'd watch a rabbit pulled out of a hat. And he'd be, you know, he'd be like playing it cool. But he'd be secretly sort of thinking, I could do that better. And then I reckon that Magnus is the kind of guy that whenever the magician did a trick, he'd be whispering to his date, like, I know how he does that. Like, this is how the trick works. And he'd spoil the trick. Can't just let it be magic. Can't just have it as magic. So I know how that works. Thank you, Jaeger. There you go. Go and support charity and watch some magic and support a member of our community's dad by checking out a magic show tomorrow. So that's Magnus. Horus. Where would Horus take a date? I don't know where Horus would take a date yet, but I know absolutely full well he'd borrow his dad's car. Like, he definitely would borrow his dad's car. And he wouldn't ask either. He'd just kind of, like, take the keys. And then his old man would find out when he had to go and do something important. And he can't find his keys. He looks out the window and he can't find his car. That's Horus. As far as where he'd take his date, I think Horus is a man of great culture. And I think he would take his date to go and watch a play, like a theatre production. And that theatre production would be Shakespeare's like Caesar or something like that. That's what he'd do. Danny, where the fuck were you? Had like one job, which was to be here while I advertised Magnus the Red going to your dad's magic show tomorrow night on a date. Brilliant. Yes, Scrub Lord, exactly. Let's see, who else? Who have we missed? Is that all the baddies? We've done Lorgar, the other main four, Horus, Comrade Kurz, Alfarius we need to do, and who else? Did Kurz? Shit, is that all of them? I swear I've missed one. The lion, brilliant. Yeah. So, yes, definitely Jaeger. That is exactly what they do. They do go on a double date. Because that's the obvious choice. But they go on a double date. And their double date is also twins. And hilarious hijinks ensue all night where they're getting the wrong one every time. So it has to be twins. Twins on twins. And they go to like a buffet restaurant, right? Because that way you're always leaving the table and then coming back to it. So there's always that, like, her name's either Sarah or Amanda. Samantha. That's the way they handle it. Totally zero class. Right, Loyalist Primarchs. Let's start off with a Lion, because he's like the obvious choice to go from Chaos to Loyalist. Where would the Lion take a date? God, I'm really not sure. I think... See, from like previous Mohawk lore episodes of this, we've portrayed him as the kind of guy that tried to skip on meal. I think the Lion would take his date to wherever he had a coupon. So he'd look online for deals and then take his date to wherever he found a date, like a place he could get a cheap date. That's what I think would happen. And I know we've got some Dark Angels fans in the chat, but frankly, your Primarch, I feel, cheap bastard. Cheap bastard. 2-for-1 Tuesdays. Yes. Yes, exactly. 2-for-1 Tuesdays. I'm learning again, by the way. This time using the Adeptus. Ridiculous. What the fuck are you talking about? Take his date to Spoons. He would. He'd go for, like, Steak Tuesdays or Curry Club Thursdays at Spoons. That would be it. Yeah, definitely. That's what he'd do. Nailed it. Right, Coal Black. Apparently no one can find this anywhere. It's out of stock all over, but I got plenty. Takes a date to dinner and a show, medieval times. Possible. Definitely a possibility. But again, he'd have to have a coupon for it. That's my thing with the Lion, is he's one cheap bastard. Gotta have those coupon codes. Right, some of you might be wondering why I've just painted the head black when I've already painted it black. Well, it's because these are both painted black, and while they don't really show the difference on screen there, this is Vallejo Black Primer, this is now Thramar Black from P3, and they do have a different finish. I want this black to match this black, and so we've got to kind of start it the same way. And that's why. You get a Spoons, but you put his table number online so his author brothers would send him bowls of peas. Ow, what did I just jab myself on? Right, moving on. So we've got the Khan. The Khan would clearly, and I mean like super clearly, take his date on a bike ride in the countryside. And he'd be thinking, oh, it's all romantic and shit, you know, I'm on the bike, she's riding behind me, and she's like holding on and all that kind of thing. And she's sat there behind going, I've got cramp, I'm cold, I'm uncomfortable, I can't talk to him because I can't hear a fucking word he's saying, and my hair's got helmet head now. they'd get to like a nice like English country pub. She'd spend 20 minutes in the bathroom trying to get herself looking back to normal. And he'd order like it'd be something like when those you get a few of these now. They're proper English like countryside pubs, but they serve like you'd get like fish and chips, except it wouldn't just be cod battered chips, peas done. It would be something like a turbot that's been beer battered, thrice fried chips, you know, all of that kind of thing. So it's properly gourmet versions of pub grub. And I don't mean gastropubs, because that was a thing that happened many years ago. This is that, but then up another level. So it'd be somewhere like that. And he'd have burger and chips. Nothing wrong with helmet hair. I mean, there is if you've been riding bitch. Right, this is a mix of black and coal black. And again, like we did on the shoulder pads, we're just kind of glazing up some rough highlights. We want this to be very dark, but obviously if it's super dark, it's going to be boring. And that's no good. But we do want it to remain dark so that it really helps to showcase how bright our bone armor is going to be. So it's very important that stays that way. Danny, cheers for the host. More Lawyers Promos. Gulliman. Gulliman is definitely like I've got to stop saying the word like. Gulliman is definitely someone that goes on a like historical tour of insert town, city, whatever here. And he'd take his date, and this is another one that's like Perturabos, essentially. So it's like we're going to go sightseeing to see all these wonderful things. She's like, oh, sweet, nice. And it would be, here's this clock tower. Canal boat tour. Yes, exactly that. But like a historical canal boat tour. There you go. In Oxford. It would be in Oxford. Gulliman strikes me as someone from Oxford. No, Gulliman strikes me as someone from Reading, which is thinks they're really posh, but actually, definitely not. Sanguinius. It's a tough one. Where would Sangy go on a date? I think he'd go to the beach. I'm getting poetry slam. Nice. I know I'm getting the feel that Sanguinius is kind of beach board ready. You know, long blonde hair. I'm thinking Point Break. All right, that's where I'm going with Sanguinius. So he'd take a date to the beach, and I think he'd probably have one of the most fun dates. Everyone else kind of super serious or murderous in the case of Kurz. But I think for him, it would just be like, you know, a few beers around a campfire on a beach, telling stories, looking at the stars. I think Sanguinius would have a good date. Cry at the sunset. I thought about it, and then I thought, no, I think he'd cry after they had sex. That's where it goes wrong. Because if there's tears after sex, you know it went really, really badly. Really badly. And I think he'd be the one crying as well. Dawn. No, it wouldn't be a castle. Dawn would be... No, a lot of them have had like historic monuments and shit like that, because to me that's kind of how the Primarchs view things. They look through this long lens of history. And we had Perturawa that did lots of like engineering related bits on his date. I think Dawn would honestly just like watch a movie, go get some food. That would be it. I think Dawn would have like a normal date, just a regular everyday date. It would be some sort of not rom-com, but just, you know, nice feel-good film. And just chill. I think that'd be it. But he'd definitely end up at a restaurant where you got to like design your own food. So whatever it might be, it could be like... Stop saying like. That's annoying me. I hope it's not annoying you guys too much. But you know when you get a word that just sits at the top of your head, and for some reason, it's always there as a filler word. A little bit like, whatever. Like right now is there. But yes, he'd have food that was a little bit like choose your own toppings on pizza. And he'd end up with some like he'd end up with a ridiculously optimized pizza build. Let's see, who else we got? Vulcan. Vulcan go on a date. Vulcan would go on some sort of sports date, like an activity date. So, there's one near me. Go Ape, it's called, with slides. What are they called? The ones where you like attach yourself, you slide down a rope. Oh God. Zip lines. That kind of thing. Okay? Fuck their size of Worcester now. I don't give a shit about their signage. You crack on. You know. You and your signing issues. But that's what he'd do. He'd go on some kind of super fun, everyone's laughing, kind of adventure date. They'd have loads of photos at the end. They'd end up making out in a treehouse or something. I think Dawn actually beats Sanguinius for best date. What the fuck happened here? Oh, I know what that is. Still unsure. I take full credit for that. No blame. I only accept credit for that. So yeah, Vulcan, best date so far. Definitely a charmer. Who's next? Dogboy, Lehman Russ. Lehman Russ is a pub date. He's not taking someone for drinks for dinner. He's taking them for drinks. And it would be meet at the local, 7 o'clock, watch the rugby. And he'd probably be 5 or 6 pints deep by the end of the first half. She'd end up taking him back to his place and would leave him on the sofa with one of his boots off. Still unsure. I'm really hoping that I'm responsible for a lot of people's improved painting. If nothing else, I think I'm definitely responsible for a lot of people not doing some of the stupid stuff that I've done in my life. So we'll take that as a win and we'll move on from there. Who else have we got? Loyalist Primarch. Discussing which Primarch to go on the town with. No Wamposaurus. It was question by Gumballina. The Primarchs go out on a date. Where do they take their date? It's like individually. Did we miss one of the good guy? Korax. We did Alpharius. No, we did Alpharius. Alpharius and Omegon would go on a double date with also identical twins, and hilarious hijinks would ensue. They'd go somewhere that was kind of a buffet place, like Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut buffet. And they'd get up from a table, and when they come back, they'd never be sure which one the other person was. Korax does an escape room date. I think that's good. Bobby G, yes. Bobby G was the historic canal boat tour. That's a terrible date. Iron Hands, Ferrus Manus. I mean, he is a floating head. So, I'm not surprised you tuned out Bobby G's date. Even his date tuned out Bobby G's date. Alright, add in more coal black. Ferris Man's just looking to get a little head. Yeah, we make that joke every time. I thought I'd let you guys do it this time around. Where would Korax go? Where would Korax go? Korax would take him to a drive-through. But a drive-through that was also a drive-through cinema. So they'd stop, they'd get burgers, whatever, hot dogs, that kind of food. Then they'd go and watch a movie, sat in the back seat of his car. No, I'm not feeling the whole emo thing. Like, I'm not, because what's his face? Strike looks like an emo due to his haircut. Korax was never really the emo kid. Sure, he's the I fade into the background kid with super sneaky powers, but he was never the emo kid. Gonna just change the exposure just a little on this. Oh, not that thing again. You're seeing that's a bit too much. You can see what's going on with the guns. We're getting a little bit more of that blue hue coming in. Yeah, actual Korax never struck me as the emo kid. Yeah, just never got that. The girl he'd ask out would definitely be the girl he's been kind of spying on since he was like 14, though. It'd be the girl that dated one of the jocks and he had a massive crush on her, and then later on in life he's all buff because now he's Primarch and everything, and asks her out, and it's obviously a terrible, terrible date because he realizes she's got about as much depth to her as the plot that he's got in any of their books. I think that's all the Primarchs. Teenage Dirtbags is his wrestling song. Oh my god. Not the worst wrestling entrance music I've ever heard. I once sent somebody out who was quite a big dude, very muscled man, to Avril Lavigne, and it wasn't Skater Boy. It was one of her on an album tracks, not even a single. He was not happy, and everyone was looking around, and the guy at the gorilla position just said, "Well, look, music's playing, bro. You got to go. That's simple." So it's amazing when he actually wrestles, but half the time he sits with his hand in his pockets. That's Korax. There is actually a wrestler now that wrestles with his hands in his pockets. I have no idea what his name is. He looks like a complete twat. And certainly if I ever got in the ring with that guy, I'd knock him the fuck out. Yeah, blonde guy, sunglasses. If you got into a ring with me and tried that gimmick, you'd probably need help walking home that night. Oh, we got some weird corruption on these pipes. Probably do that a lighter colour rather than work this black blue up over it. Get it to be some manky Nurgle slime. So come on, chat. Out of all of the Primarch's dates, which Primarch out of all of those do you think had the best date? I think obviously it's Vulcan. Yeah, that's a good date. Definitely successful date, I feel. Is he full? Brilliant. There's that. I'm not sure I want to meet you, bro. Working out how bright I need to get these pipes and stuff up to. Definitely to go past coal black and move into probably just some Administratum grey. I normally would go through Gravedigger Denim first, but I don't really want these to look blue. I just want them to be an interesting black. So that's what's making me question that just a little. Did I miss Sangrius? Where did he go? Sangrius went to the beach. Nice beach day, you know, proper what's the name of the film? Point Break kind of looking dude. There's a bit of surfing, clearly a little bit of windsurfing. Obviously does some paragliding. And then, you know, campfire, a few beers by the campfire, everything's getting a little hot and heavy. And then after they've had sex, that's when he cries. About how beautiful and how memorable and everything else. For the women or that way inclined men approach, who would I want to take on a date? I mean, I wouldn't want to take any of the Primarchs on the date because by default, I'm the bitch, right? I don't think on like a manly scale you can compete with a Primarch. It's good at the theoretical, but shit at the practical. Nice. What about the Big E? Not sure. By our standards, but Gilliman would have the best date because her needs aren't within the Codex Astartes, so are of no consequence. Nice. Biggie would go Turkish. Why would he go Turkish? Actually, let's use this. Let's bust out Fenrisian Grey. Why not? Virtual date. No, we had that for Mortarion. He'd arranged to meet somebody in World of Warcraft, and that would be his date. Horus stole the Big E's car without telling him, and then took his date somewhere kind of civilized, very high culture, like a French restaurant, you know, that sort of thing. Good. Darker mix of that. That's looking good. I like this. Where would the Emperor go? See, I think the Emperor wouldn't go out for a date. He'd like phone in for a date. He's got a long list of kind of booty call numbers. I think that would be more the Big E. His little black book, which is more like the size of the yellow pages. Let's just turn that alright. Trying to keep these highlights kind of soft. Definitely got room for a good, strong edge highlight or some of the kind of specular highlights on this. Good choice of Fenrisian Grey. I like it. Just a little bit of blue in there. Biggie just go bowling with Malkador. Biggie would just pay for it. Brilliant. Brilliant. He's more of a Babe Station kind of guy. I don't have Sky TV or anything similar. Babe Station, is that the channel that is basically page 3 girls chatting or whatever? I have baggage, 22 sons, or with big egos. 22? I get 21. Well, it was 20 Primarchs, but one of the Primarchs was 2, so that's 21. Wobbling my phone seductively. Right, it's one of those. They try and get you to phone in so you can listen to Natasha, who is Tracy from the estate. Got ya. Jesus, people still do that. Christ. That can't still be a real thing. Is that really still real? That still happens? Jesus! Whoa! Yeah, I mean, oh god, I know you're busy pissing yourself at that reaction, but wow. Too soon. I think no. One Berserk, you're gonna have to wait This is next week's Patreon video. Is how to do the armor. The armor is half done. We've got way more to do on that still. And that's just getting the base coats down, let alone the things that are going to come after it. So, can't give the game away on that one just yet, bro. You'll have to be patient. All will be revealed. No way. I still think that in like 20 years or so, we'll find out they did it. I still think that. Apparently there's a big documentary about it. Because a lot of people think that they probably murdered her. And this documentary apparently is very well done and casts significant doubt on that. But I don't know. To me, it just feels like they're milking it at any given opportunity. Rather than, like, please be aware that this sort of shit happens. You know, look after your kids. It feels very much more like they are, oh, woe is us. This happened. Please give us money for books that we've not written and everything else. Porn's interesting. It's influenced a lot of technology in society. Yes. Now this, I know this for a fact. The reason that Blu-ray succeeded, and whatever the was it? Oh fuck. Maybe I don't. This is as I thought. Basically, there are two kinds of like super duper CDs that came out. HD DVD. Thank you. The reason that Blu-ray succeeded and that HD DVD didn't is because porn went on Blu-ray. That's it. That's the reason. Crazy. Yes, dude. I totally get that. But hey. Perhaps one day. But it's amazing what I won't say niche industry because it's big business. It's amazing how that can influence the rest of the world. Laserdisc loss of DVD as well. Yeah. Mini disc. I'm pretty sure that could take video as well, or at least could play back video as a storage device. It could definitely take video. Yeah, all these things just by the wayside. Time is it? We are 5 to 11. Okay. So we've got about 20 minutes to go before we end up in the whip gallery. So if you've got things that you'd like to share with the stream, !whip, come and join in. Come and get yourself on Discord. Show everyone what you've been painting. It's very friendly. Like, you're going to get some feedback from me on what you've been painting, how you've been painting it, and maybe some ways to improve. Even if you're Damien, I have told him off in the whip before. For incomplete hazard striping. Whoa. Pretty much every visual medium is found correct, so that's a porn together very quickly after porn would be fair. Tropic Thunder, I think I've seen that. Yeah, man. Don't come in here without like full hazard stripes. Whoa. This is not the place for that kind of shenanigans. Hazard stripes for life. But yeah, come and show us what you've been working on. Show me what you got. I see it. We're a very friendly community. So if you're new here, don't worry at all. Everyone is very, very positive here. And any feedback you're given will be constructive feedback, not just me being a dick. Unless you specifically ask me to be brutal. Then that can be much more towards, I think this is going to sound funny, so I'm going to say it and it's super harsh. But ordinarily, it's not like that. Plankwalker, how's it going, bro? Damien, have you got your no retreat invite yet? Because Josh has been trying to keep a tally of what invites are out there in the wild, as it were. And there are 2 left in the UK that haven't been claimed yet. Currently, Joe Moscadini hasn't got one. And he's kind of panicking every day. Like, the mail turns up, he's like, he's not here. So, yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to get one. The last 2 might be you and him. I don't know. Hey, indeed. How's it going? Right, let's add in a bit more Fenrisian Grey. That's quite a lot more Fenrisian Grey. Let's just take some of that back. Even more. And even more. Shit, no, we went a bit overboard with that. That's better. PDD says he wants to be there, but who knows? I know, bro. It's one of those, judges' decisions are final things. I think it's very much the council that are doing it. Brilliant. Cheers, Gumballina. Good. Just finished the job. Time for some relaxing. Nice, mate. Very nice. God, it's super complex. Right. Last highlight on some of this stuff. We've had a decent stream tonight. I'm liking what we've got going on. It's also been quite nice to work on something that I know is going to be in an upcoming video as well, because it means that once all of the little bits like this are done, I can just focus on the armor, and then what comes next, which is loads of weathering, verdigris, pitting, rusting, streaking, all of these sorts of things, right? It's going to be a lot of fun to film, and that should be next week's Patreon video, like I was saying earlier on. pop culture aficionado, cheers for the follow. Welcome. Is it a clicky community at your level? No, not really. There's, like, don't get me wrong, we've every painter thinks they're good, right? And so there's frequently a little bit of like, oh, I'm better than you. For me, I see what I do as just being different to a lot of other people's. I have a style that's not the same as most. So take Damien, for instance, right? Womposaurus, peace, dude. He is an heavy metal painter. And now, I imagine, we'll end up doing more in that kind of style, which I will not do. However, he's a very well-rounded painter, and by no means is he just sort of pigeonholed into that. Couldn't be further from the truth, in fact. So, I tend to look at other people's work and just go, that's different to mine, and I like it. Just because it's different doesn't necessarily make it better. It certainly does not make it worse. But you do get people that are a little bit like that. I'm not going to mention any names because that's just stupid, but I have things that I am very passionate about when it comes to miniature painting, like things that I believe are just the right ways to do things, and therefore other ways are either incorrect or just, it's not as good. One of those things is painting black base rims on minis. Like, for me, that gives a perfect finished miniature. Anything else just looks a bit naff. And it detracts from the mini. But it's not like it's... And I don't consider I honestly don't even consider myself a very good painter. I consider myself like a decent enough artist to get the effect that I like on here, but that's it. Liang, take care, bro. I certainly wouldn't put myself in the same lines of people that I look up to. People like Angel and Sergio and so on. These guys are great painters. Andy Wardle, amazing painter. Rich Gray. You could reel off fucking names all night with this sort of upper echelons, high tier miniature painting group. I'm not part of that group. So that group might be a little clicky, but I'm definitely not. If I was, would you guys all be here? That's the thing, right? I certainly wouldn't be sharing my secrets with people if I was clicky. Or if there was a clique. I wanted to ask you, how do you think Sergio got so god at blends? I think he probably sacrificed something, and vitally important as well. I'm thinking along the same lines as Endgame, throwing something off of a cliff. Mate, I am not on the outskirts of that group. I am outside of that group, and that is absolutely for sure. I know everyone's their own worst critic, but way out of that little group. If that group is a little group of people stood in the centre of a football pitch, I'm sat somewhere in the nosebleeds. Soul to soul. No, I think much more than that. I don't think just one soul is okay. I think there had to be some much, much higher price than just a soul. But Sergio airbrushes. And he tends to airbrush after applying blends as well. So he does a lot of painting with a brush and then goes in with the airbrush. Whereas I tend to do it the other way around. Or just not use the brush for most part of that at all, you know. Just do airbrush work with that. Matt, how you doing, bro? Oh, you're a sweetheart. Thank you. Matt says, well, you're part of our group, mate, and it's an amazing community you've built through hard work and determination. There are 90 people here watching at this time. Close to. Yeah, it's good. It's always humbling. I'm always surprised that one person thinks what I've got to say is interesting, let alone as many as we get on here frequently. So, big props to all of y'all. You guys absolutely make this worth it. The medication's starting to wear off. Nice. Nice. Sat by the pool, drinking a beer, watching me. Sounds good, man. Looking forward to seeing more about this new project of yours you were teasing over on Instagram, by the way. This could be interesting. Why don't you go one higher with some of this? Just a little bit. This hasn't quite. Maybe. I don't know. It's that fucking age-old question. Where do I stop? What's my final highlight? When is enough enough? Never. It's never enough. Painting more? No. 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 I think I'd rather try and dry hump a cheese grater than paint more of those planes. Like, fully fucking go at it as well. They're the devil. Oh shit, Damien, if you had to do, well, you can't say anyway, but if you painted any of the Titanicus / Imperialis stuff, because you do heavy metal specialist games, and that's going to fall into that category, they are fucking horrible to paint. There's somebody out there that thinks it's fun, I'm sure, but you're basically doing nothing but painting eyeballs for the entirety of a miniature. That's how fine those details are everywhere. God, it's rank. Finish your tea bagging, said cheese grater. Mate, I'd keep going until there's no left, you know. Not sure, Gumbly. The temptation to just gob on it might be too much. Hey, mate. If you could never vote a visual again, that'd be great. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Overwhelmed by some of the colour schemes of freehand work, but if you take your gold custos, for example, it shows there's levels to even one colour, whereas I would hide a weakness behind colour schemes. That's a fair point. I remember when I was sort of growing up in painting, not necessarily as a child, but as I was sort of maturing in my skill set, I'd have to find different colors for things. So that can't be that color. That can't be that color because this is that color as well. And like, I need to find somewhere to put this color on the miniature as well. And I think you get so much more out of a limited color palette. Oh, I know, Gumbelina. I know, but even I couldn't take it down that far darker path. We're gonna go one more. Yeah, these days I do try and keep my color palette very, very tight. Marco's just done a video, 4 colors, 4 hours. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about challenging yourself to paint a mini using just 4 colors, because with the right 4 colors, you can mix anything. You know, take CMYK as your version of like base primary colors, which is fair. And you can make anything with those 4 colors. So that's not what I mean. But what I mean is finishing off a miniature with, after you've finished, there being very few colors on the miniature. So this guy has got, obviously so far, kind of a black, blue, green, bone, there'll be brass, there'll be verdigris, there'll be some sort of silver, there'll be some sort of rust, there'll be pink-ish skin, there'll be green-ish for things like that. So he will have plenty of colour. But the foreground will still keep this bit of armor. That's the goal for it, is for this armor to be one of the standout details on this miniature. That's why we're going desaturated green for the shoulder pads. That's why we're going this kind of off blue-black for the gun, because whilst it's interesting, it still just keeps it in the background, especially next to the vast brightness of this. And I think learning that it's okay to use less colors and just do like variations on the theme is something that really helped my painting. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right with that one. Right, let's just highlight towards the front end of this now. But the custodes are a great example. The tailor one is gold, silver, purple, and blue. That's actually it. There's nothing else on that guy apart from the base, obviously, which is slightly different, you know. Oh my god, Danny, get out. Get out. Oh. Fuck's sake. It's a perfect example. A lot of painters seem to make Deathguard look good no matter their level, but you can only make it pop somehow. Not the fanboy no. Cheers, mate. I appreciate it. Add subtle colours to enhance it. Other main colours that makes them richer just by such colours. Yes, it's all about. Sometimes a focal point doesn't need to be a point on the miniature. It can be a thing, like for instance the armor color. And everything I plan to do to the miniature is there to enhance that color. Because at the end of the day, the reason behind it is I'm doing a video on how to paint bone armor. I want people to look at it and go, fuck me, man. Wish I could paint armor like that. And half of the secret is, of course, everything that goes around it. But I want that solid gold thumbnail, you know? So we're getting a load more paint down on this guy. We'll do some work on him over the weekend. I'll probably do some work off stream tomorrow or Monday, perhaps. Shit, we forgot. We so forgot. Exclamation point vote. How have we... Oh, Jay, you're so terrible. Sunday will be the last day for voting for the color scheme of this Tyranid army we're putting together. So this is the Tyranid army that on our stream anniversary, the 24th and 25th of April, so our stream's second birthday, we're going to raffle off 10 prizes. 2 of which are fully painted armies. 1 of which is a full army. As in a third prize, not one of the 2 fully painted armies is a full army. Just realised that didn't make sense the way I said it. Because the community has voted for the Tyranid army to be the one we paint on stream, I've written up a list. The community have voted on those lists. We've improved the list. Now, we've shortlisted our 4 vote for 4. What? Which one's 4? Yes, I like 4. I do like 4. Definitely 2 armies. 2 painted armies. So far, the prize pool is a Tyranid army painted in one of these 5 color schemes. Mr. Chillmore! 4 is good. 4 is good. We like 4. So we got Behemoth, Blue and Bone, Blue and Orange, Black and White, or Green, Pink and Orange. The results currently... Oh, Des, this has gone up. This has gone up as well. That's closing in. It's gone up by at least 2 votes. Maybe 3. You decided to go nutty and do 2 lists. Nope. You'll have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and see. It's good prizes, though. Good prizes. We've got a Tyranid army to give away, or raffle off, rather, in one of these colour schemes. Currently, the Blue and Bone. We have a Sisters of Battle army, brand new in box, which was the 2nd place list from the vote that we did to get to this stage where the Tyranids won. There is a 3rd army to be given away, and there is lots of other stuff that fits along a theme. So, currently the theme seems to be giving away armies. I've got 10 prizes lined up for this. 10. But it depends on how many tickets we sell as to how many prizes get put in the pool. Think of it a little bit like sort of Kickstarter with stretch goals. We sell 100 tickets. Maybe that's another army unlocked. Maybe it's not. You know? And then, once we get the full prize pool, by the end of the weekend, so midnight on the Sunday, that's it. The draw is finished. And you will want to be online for the draw. You really, really will. Because when you get the winning ticket, whoever it is, when your name is drawn out of the hat, you choose which prize on the list you want to make sure it's something that you want. So you do want to be here. The draw will be Sunday. It will be Sunday heading towards midnight. It's the 25th of April. That's the day you definitely want to be here. Wolf, no. No clues. Right, not a bad night work. That sort of fits in something like that. Damn, that looks horrible. Like, that looks sinister. Having that black face there. That's... Ooh. Looking good. Looking real good. I've had a lot of fun. We've done a lot of glazing. We've done a lot of just soft brushwork, which you don't normally do on stream. But it has been fun. So we'll be carrying this guy on probably Saturday morning. Might end up... I should have finished this commission by then. If not, it'll be like maybe just finishing the final details of that and then working on this guy on Sunday. Depends very much on how the weekend goes, really, I suppose. But loving this guy so far. I'd laugh if Deathguard or Necrons were the third. Leaving it out there. There's 26 factions in 40k. You can keep asking, but you're going to get nothing out of me. Nothing out of me. Like the fucking Sphinx right here. Now, though, it's whip time. Enough about me and what I'm doing. It's all about you and what you've been doing. Exclamation point whip. Let's get over to Discord. Check out. I can't believe that's real. That's fucking disgusting. Right, starting off with Exploding Fruit. Need help with highlights, and I'm not planning on doing any glow effects on my Necrons. That's fine. That's fine. You don't always have to do glow effects. Let's check it. Yes, you do need help. So it looks like you've done an all-over coat of Nylac Oxide, which is one of the worst products that Games Workshop currently sell. Too many sprues. What's wrong with your screen? So Nylac Oxide is not my favorite thing. It's got this kind of weird chalk dust in it. It's fucking weird, and I don't like the way it sits on miniatures. When we did a verdigris on this Plague Marine, for example, we're definitely not using this product. Because you've kind of caked everything in this, you've got this blue tint on top of everything that you've got here. So whatever highlights you put down are going to stand out possibly too much. What I would suggest is that if you have anything like this that you're going to paint, you just do a recess shade with this. And that way you can just carry on with your regular highlights. It might be that what you end up doing to sort of bring this back from where it is now is do a much wider highlight. In fact, I have an example of this that I can show you. It's on the Telemon, who still needs one more highlight before this part is done. So on these guys, we airbrushed all of the gold, right? Then we put 2 washes over the top, a purple and a flesh wash. So that took our gold and made it a little bit dull. Like you see just down here, we've got that ever so slightly matte looking metallic. Whereas here we haven't. And the reason behind that is because, and you can probably just see, if I get the, right there. You just see that line that comes down around this area, yeah? That's where, after the washes were done, I came back in with the gold and did like a volumetric highlight down here to start bringing out the shape of that armor panel again. And it might very well be that you have to do a similar thing here by going back in and sort of putting the base coats down on the areas that the base coats are as a first highlight, because that will have quite a large difference from the base coat with Nylac Oxide over the top of it, and then do another highlight past it. Again, for anything you do like this, I would advise you using this as a recess shade rather than an all-over coat. If you're going to do it all over, then you could try doing highlights first and then this. Also, though, this Nylac Oxide could do with a highlight. Mix up some like Sickly Skin and like Meridius Blue from P3, or you go Lothern Blue from GW, which is obviously a much more blue, whereas Meridius is kind of that tealy turquoise. You can do Cabalite Green and Sickly Skin, or Pallid Witch Flesh is the GW version. Something like that. Give it a shot, man. Let us know how you get on. Basically, same with these guys. You know, once again, you've got that all-over wash. That makes it very difficult to highlight. It's like having a candy coat. Once something's been candy coated, a highlight over the top of that just looks out of place. It's very, very difficult to get anything like that highlighted up. You look at edge highlights earlier. I like the opinion if it looks good, it's above the Necrons. If it's above the Necrons, it was probably pre-stream, which it is. I did look at this earlier on. We tend to only start at 9 o'clock, but sure. As it's literally here, we'll go back. I did see them. Some of your edge highlights, I think this is due to the tank itself. If you look at this one on the right-hand side, I'm guessing there was ever so slightly a gap between the two panels that make up the roof and the side of that. You ended up with a highlight on one and the other, I think, there. Otherwise, what you've got is good. Some of them are a little bit choppy, where the paint is obviously just a tad thick. But I kind of like it. You've got something that... It still follows this kind of heavy metal style of painting. Boxes on everything. Which isn't my own personal preference. You guys know that. But you've still got a thicker highlight and a thinner highlight that sits within it. And that takes quite some doing. You need really, really good brush control and precision to do that. And if you look at the bottom right of the picture, you've got the headlights, a little line above that, and then a panel above that where the side comes in and just loops around the front. Just here. It's really, really obvious in that spot that you've got those two highlights, because that line sort of blends up to the brightest point. And that's really good. So the majority of this executed really, really well. If you end up with a mini, and a lot of the GW tanks, especially the Primaris ones, have this issue where they don't quite fit together, you got to gap fill it. Just no two ways around it. You have to gap fill it. I would not ever use liquid green stuff. That shit is terrible. That's about the worst thing at GW sell. Vallejo plastic putty, super good. It's basically resin dust in an acrylic medium. So it dries very, very, very quickly. And you can file it, but you need to cure really, really well before you file it. Otherwise, you'll take the entire thing off. Milliput, that works really well. You can thin that down with water or alcohol and get on with it. Sprugu is great. Yeah, Sprugu is good. But you need to have one of these that you've pretty much demolished. So that's some Tamiya extra thin for those that can't see it because of the glare from the light. And then add a load of ground up plastic to it. And obviously you need to have half a bottle of Tamiya before you can even get close to that. So, sure, it works, but for those of you that don't want to spend £5 on some glue, have it down a sink. Don't pour glue down a sink. Don't pour something that melts plastic down a sink that's pipes are made of plastic. Don't fucking do that. But there you go. That's some suggestions. Lord of Contagion. Nice! More OG Deathguard love. I actually really like this model. I've never painted one. But, love it. Looking good, dude. Like I say, there's going to be a guide on how to do bone like this in about a week's time. But like you're doing so far. Got plenty of room to get some rust effects and stuff like that going down. Loads of room to play with. Zex, yes! Transcendent Catan time. Love this mini. Got 3 if you want one. What, 3 Transcendent Catans? Oh, no. You mean this... Yeah. Don't worry. I'm like, why the fuck have you got 3 of those? Nice. Zex, I like it. Yeah, good work so far. Getting the airbrush going on. Next step, get some washes into all those recesses. You did a complete series on the Void Dragon. All of The entire miniature we did for a commission was done between Patreon and YouTube, so well worth checking out. A lot of the things we've done there, you can take and add to this. Keep it up though, bro. Good stuff. Bubba J, not finished and honestly just working with what I got at the moment. That's not the Silent King. That's the Macho Man. That is some bright ass green. You're not going to miss him on the tabletop. If I'm honest, I actually love it. Like, I really do. That is super in your face. Solid stuff, mate. The Catan, I think I can see either some contrast paint or a bit of a too heavy wash going on there. Some of those recesses are a little bit packed full, and it might be worth just going in with your mid-tone and just sort of pulling away from that a little bit. You know it's not finished. I know it's not finished. Loads of stuff to do. Can't believe you're painting this guy fully assembled, though. Whew. You're a brave man. You're a very brave man. The one I did for commission was in 28 bits, and that was before I even got to the guy stood on it. And then that was 2 for the Silent King, and then the other 2 as well. You know, it's a hell of a miniature. One of the best centerpiece models in 40k. Definitely. Right, Niveus. Finished my squad of fire dragons and been working on some Eldar terrain. Ha ha! Like it. Yeah, not bad, dude. Not bad at all. Base rims are the wrong colour, but we've covered that before, I think. Why have some of them got purple armbands and some of them got blue? What's the deal there? Is it 2 units? Can you have units of 3? Oh, thank God for that, Bubba J. You just put him together for the photo op. That... Whew. Frankly, you'd have to be mad to paint that all in one go. Getting on with them though, mate. Keep it up. Fuck me, that's massive. That's some big old terrain. Because some of it is hard surface gems and the blue is cloth. Oh! Huh. I see. Alright. That makes sense. That looks dope. That looks really, really cool. But... you know... I'm liking it. Good luck on the print. Good luck on the print. Plexi Waffle getting some Deathguard going on. I love this color scheme. I love this color scheme. This is a little bit more blue and a little bit brighter than the Deathguard that I painted for my housemate, which were more of a kind of blue influenced teal. Like teal, definitely towards new blue. These look sick. Nice, mate. Very, very nice. I really like this. That blue's sick. The purple just contrasts really well with it. I love it in the recesses of the armor. Yeah, great stuff, man. I've got to admit, I'm not super sold on the red of the bolt gun. Or bolt pistol, rather. I think that's such a massive like move away from the rest of the miniature that it's just a little bit too much. I don't know. That part I'm not in love with. I don't necessarily think the black would be the better choice either, though. Maybe once you've got a unit of them together, it sort of finishes off. Airbrushed 2,000 points, including Morty, in 8 hours of work. Nice, dude. Very, very nice. Big fan of your blue, though, dude. You rate the red bolter? Just want to do old school bottle colour? Get a hazard stripe on there. Now we're talking. Overall, though, mate, I think it's absolutely spot on. Keep it up. Definitely keep it up. Gummer, homunculus base coating and starting to highlight the skin cloak. Fuck fine cast, but I like this model more than the current plastic one. It is very overexposed. You said about that in chat. It is a nice mini. Yeah, I do like this. I don't think I've ever seen this one. A lot of the Coven stuff for Dark Eldar came out when I was in... when I was out of the hobby. I remember the the Cabal stuff being out. I remember when that got released. And that was not long before I left the hobby. That was the Battle for McCrag box at 3rd. And you had Vex, and you had... the Talos was this shitty looking metal scorpion, basically. And it looked fucking terrible. Like, even back then, it looked fucking terrible. But, oh... No good. A lot of them, though, came out in that time that I had nothing to do with the hobby whatsoever. So this one came out in metal first. Don't remember it at all. But he's very cool looking. Flesh cloak. Yeah, nice. I mean, a million miles to go, obviously, getting the rank stains that are going to be on that. So, keep it up, though, dude. Glad to see you doing some painting. I can't believe you're subjecting yourself to fine cast when you don't really feel a love for painting right now anyway. Finally find him. Warp Spider attack. Yes! Yes! One of the best minis ever from Games Workshop. This one, the Warp Spider Exarch, is absolutely in my list of all-time favourite minis from them. I have a Metal Snake 13 to paint. Looks like a pain in the rear. Yeah. You're only just being new. Me too. Me too. I loved them. I never got a unit for my army, but one of my teachers at school gave me a lot of the stuff from his Eldar army. So look, I've got these. I never bothered playing a game, just painted some. And oh my life, he did such a great job on these. It was the first time I'd ever seen anyone paint something in gradients. Before it was like, you painted this colour, you take this and you edge highlight everything. That was it. But not only painting gradients, he had a spider web, free-handed on the backpack, all of this. It was immense. I love this mini. Such strong memories for me, this one. Good luck, dude. Mr. D, highlighting the black cloth. Yeah, look, shit, we just skip over those. Nice, dude. Real nice. That doesn't look as... I feel shitty for saying this. I do. I really do. But that doesn't look as smooth as some of the other stuff I've seen you do. Like, especially that bottom corner. It's very, like, here's my highlight. I'm guessing still plenty of work to do, just smoothing those out, though. I know it'll look phenomenal by the time you're done. Fucking love that freehand, though. Love that freehand. What was the original colour for plasma pistols and plasma guns? The plasma or the gun? Like for Ultramarines, they were always red. And that was kind of all you saw like back in the day. So that's nice. Can't believe, what is this utter bullshit? Damien, you and I are having fucking words, mate. You've gone to all this effort to paint this and get it looking nice and spangly. And then, just like you did with your fucking Death Watch, you've not done the non-metallic gold. Come on, mate. Come on. Come on. Can't have this. Non-metallic metal on the banner. I'll get my Retributor armor out for the rest. Terrible, mate. Terrible. That's much. Look at those fucking blends there. That is how you highlight black. Those little specular highlights, like right in the middle of those creases, really, really make that pop. Nice one, champ. Of course, I don't blame you painting the fucking trimming gold. Because fuck doing a Lord Discordant anyway, let alone NMM. Riri. That is gonna hurt when it hits. God almighty, I hope they never bring back the tank shock rules because of that. That looks mad. That's like a fire grate from hell. Oh, dude, I know. Yeah, if you're gonna show off, do it right. Yeah, be told. I put corrosion, use a sponge to put mud and rust on. That works. Yeah, if you got any pigments, because stuff like that works really, really well for things like this. And oils as well. What you've done looks great. Don't get me wrong. Solid work. Did you make it or did you buy it? Like, I'm trying to work out what it even is. Is it something you've made out of sprues or something? What's pigments? We've done a lot of YouTube videos on this. The most recent YouTube video we did, which was how to do like create your own resin bases. So the Telemon is on this base that we actually had to scratch build. We couldn't find a 100mm base that looked right, and all of this little bit of colouring on the base is a pigment. Oh, that's part of the kit. Fuck, I totally didn't know that. I've literally never seen it. But this is pigment. It's basically paint that is dry. It hasn't had medium like mixed in with it. So all of those areas that are embedded in the base and embedded in some of the scenery parts that are on it, like the faces and so on, are applied normally at the very end of painting, but we kind of do it a different way to get the videos up in the order I wanted them to. And that's a really, really good way of doing any kind of weathering, especially rust, because you can just sort of brush them into place. You don't need to fix them, and it works really, really well. Check out that YouTube video, which was custom resin bases. Especially put YouTube, obviously, for a link to that. What else have we done it on? That one had pigments and OSL. I've done it in a couple. My issue now is I'm trying to remember which ones were on Patreon and which ones were on YouTube. The one where we weathered the Mechanicus robots, that was another one. That might have been Patreon, though. McThief, be gentle. No such thing. Okay. As you asked me to be as you asked me to be gentle, I will be gentle. Petters, take care, bro. Good to see you as always, my friend. The sword is absolutely great. Absolutely great. Brush blended, I can tell. Looks good. Nice color, nice blend. I like how you've gone very dark to very light. Spot on. Some of your highlights are a little bit jagged. Now, the reason behind that, almost every single time I see it, is the same reason. When you're doing an edge highlight, you need to have paint that is thin enough to flow evenly off your brush. So when you're doing your brush stroke, it's just drawing paint naturally as it goes. If at any point you find it doesn't create a smooth line, it's almost always that you need to add a little bit of water, thin it down just a touch. So in this case, if you look at the guy's pec, that highlight just along that area, you see the highlight line is a little jagged as it goes. There's a couple like that on the miniature, and that's almost always the reason it happens. If you've got a wet palette, it helps, keeps it wetter for longer. But that's usually what that's caused by. The eye lenses definitely need something. I believe that was in the Patreon video, How to Paint Blood Angels Part 2, where we did things like eye lenses and every other part of the miniature. They're very flat in comparison to what else you've got there. If you were to take some darker green and just basically paint a ring around the eye lens, like here, and then do a little dot somewhere close to the pupil with a little bit of that green mixed with some yellow, a tiny bit of yellow, then they'd look a lot more like a lens and a lot less like a flat surface. But what you've got's really good. Honestly, you've done a little bit of checker mark on the tilt plate there. You've quartered it rather than a checker mark, I guess. I like the fact that you've done that. You've done white on black, perfect for Black Templars. The shield needs a little bit of work. Maybe get some washes in there, but carefully, don't just slather them on it. And the only reason I say that is because, again, a little bit like the eye lenses, your metal on there is just kind of flat. So you're always looking to create contrast on things, because contrast, for me at least, drives interest. That interest is what people need to be able to start looking at your models over somebody else's. Overall though, dude, this is really good and you should be happy with it. Very happy with it. For things like your purity seals, what you can do is take some brown paint, never black. Never ever use black paint for this, because if you use black paint, it's too stark in relation to the background, which is some usually sort of papyrus looking parchment. But if you use a really, really dark brown, thin it, or if you've just got it, some brown ink, and just do tiny little lines, okay? Use a brush with a very good tip, put a very, very small amount of paint on the brush, and you'll get these nice little lines just moving through it. Super easy, nice little detail to add. That sword is banging, though. Good stuff. Like, really, really good stuff, I mean it. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. This isn't some sort of shit sandwich. This is a really, really good sword. There's a little bit of a step change that you can see. That comes with practice. Just keep glazing stuff down, getting those blends nice and smooth up the length of the sword. You've got this. Once you've mastered that, get the old twofer going in. So let me grab one of these guys. This was last week's YouTube video. Last week's Patreon video, how to paint power swords like a pro. I've just done the written guide for this. This goes up on Patreon tomorrow morning for the weekly readers in the group. But try and get that dark, light, and then obviously inverted, dark, light, down your side of the blade. So that's the progression from where you are now. I don't think you're that far off that, honestly. Solid work, dude. Keep going. Thank you for sharing. Whip on objective markers, 3D printed. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, mate. I don't really get what I'm looking at here. Is it a mesh with the resin like attached to it? I assume the base is not painted black yet because it's still a whip. That's all. That just looks fucking weird. I'm sure you've got a great plan for it, but that does look weird. Basically printed and kind of woven in while printing. Okay. Different, mate. Very different. Plexi waffle. Fuck yes. As much as I love hazard stripes, I can't back them on base rims though. Has to be black. Has to be just be black. But get those xenomorphs going on. Is this the Aliens game? Dude! Love this. That's super cool. I don't think it's a bad idea at all, dude. Just remember, it needs to be an exact measurement. It needs to be circular. And it needs to be thin. Yeah, it needs to be able to fit under buildings and stuff like that. That's why the neoprene mats work really, really well. They're about 1 millimeter thick. And so you can just slide them under terrain. So the objective itself sits outside the terrain. But the 3-inch sphere of influence can go underneath it and so on. So definitely looks like the Mystery Aliens game. That stuff sells for mad money now. Really? Really? Need to read you the white, it's too bright. It is. Yeah, very, very bright. I just assume that was part of that many you hadn't got the painting, if I'm honest. Yeah, aren't their talons kind of black anyway? Like the claws? They're extremely glossy in the movies, though. They're obviously wet, covered in ichor. We're going to stop here. We try and keep the whip to sort of 3 per person, but it's all good. WK83 commented in the whip earlier on. I love your orcs, dude. They pop. They have an absolute, like, they jump out and grab you kind of feel to them. Are you a different name in Twitch to Discord, though? Because I don't think I've ever seen this username in the Twitch chat. But I'm a big fan of your minis. If you are, can you do me a favour? Either change your nickname on Discord in the server, or just like message me and say, hey, it's so and so, just so I know who I'm talking to. I love that rubber chicken he's got, just chilling out. I don't even think it's a rubber chicken, but it looks exactly like a rubber chicken. Very, very cool, dude. Quality stuff. Right, last year. It's just well, I'm dead. Another interesting Deathguard scheme. This time we got bone and red. And green. There's a green shoulder pad there as well. Nice, man. Some of that bone paint looks a little chunky. Which is definitely something that's hard to combat with painting bone. Basically tune into next week's Patreon video. I was about to tell you the recipe because I gave this to my housemate earlier on. And I thought, no, I can't. Nope. No, you'll have to wait. But I like it. Had it in a box for over 2 years, taking the conventions with people handling, etc. Defo hard wearing. Nice. Nice. Used to my daughter helping me with paint. Brilliant. And the ship from Star Wars. Nice. It's very hologrammatic looking bits on Space Frisbee. I'm assuming that's the underside of it. That looks like the top. That looks like the bottom. Yeah. Wolf, I literally only do it to try and trigger people as hard as possible. Right. That's the whip done. Nice work, everyone. Thank you all for sharing. This is what we accomplished tonight. So the bone was done off screen, like I said just a minute ago. That's next week's Patreon video. The green, the black, all of that was done this evening with the addition of the hat as well. And that will sort of sitting somewhere there-ish. And there we go. That's our Deathguard Lord of Virulence taking shape. We've got a load of work left to do on this guy before we start getting to anything like the stressing and the finishing off of the armor. So stay tuned over the next couple of streams for more work on him. I really like the miniature. I think it's a really, really cool mini. Jaeger, take care. It's poly-transport paints. We'll let you off with the insult of Star Wars. It's alright, dude. I don't watch any of them. The one Star Wars movie I like is Rogue One. Past that, I'm a little like, meh. Even like the original 3, I just, meh. They're good. It just the universe never grabbed me. Right, let's see who we got. Who do we have? Not too many people. Let's see. Seedot Bush. We rate him a fair amount. Actually, let me just see what this person is. Fuck it. Yeah, this is where we go. So, we got raided by this person recently. And I just totally misread promo as a different word. No, we're not raiding Bricky. Bricky's playing some fucking video game. Lucas. How you doing? We're just about to raid, so join in with a raid and we'll speak to you there. This is Cara Elvenblood. Her and her other half are people I'm working with for the 40 Hours of 40k project to help Calm. And they're having a live chat with Luke, who's Geek Gaming Scenics. So definitely going to be a fun one. We'll see you guys Saturday morning. Morning, remember, 11 a.m. BST. Peace out, everyone. No. Oh, fucking